And welcome back to the show. Caitlin Crisselt in today's Norwalk Hour writing, Forum flap illustrates tension over tolling as the transportation forum that was originally scheduled for tomorrow night has been, quote, postponed due to scheduling conflicts. We're going to hear from Representative Gail Lavielle. Was it really postponed due to scheduling conflicts, Gail Lavielle, or was there something even more, important at stake here, which is what caused people to take a pause and postpone this forum? Welcome to the show, honey. The Representative Gail Lavielle represents a district that includes part of Westport, Wilton, as well as Norwalk. Hi, honey. Welcome to the show today.
Happy New Year, Lisa.
You too, sweetheart. You too.
Wonderful to be here.
So tell me about what happened. What was this flap I was getting from all sides over the weekend? What was going on?
Well, I heard about this on Saturday afternoon. Apparently, an email had leaked explaining that there was a secret meeting, and it's secret, the word secret was used, top secret, in fact, and urgent, saying that Governor Lamont would be appearing at Bedford Middle School in Westport on Tuesday evening to talk about his transportation infrastructure plan, and imploring everyone who got the email not to share this information because they want toll supporters to have advance notice of the event. And if you wanted to go, you should respond to a link, and you would be given instructions for the event. Now, let me say something before we go any further on this. I think that the disturbing nature of this is not related to whether you support or oppose tolls. Nothing to do with that. It's the fact that there was an effort to make sure that certain people with one point of view didn't show up in order to make it look like there is a lot of support for the governor's plan.
So let me read you what the let me read you exactly what this email said, okay? Because according to the Hour, Caitlin Crisselt, she writes that State Senator Will Haskell, who's a Democrat in Westport, was working to organize the forum and had invited Governor Ned Lamont as well as Joseph Giulietti to speak about the transportation plan, which includes trucks-only tolling. In planning the event, Haskell reached out to a, quote, progressive pro-tolls Westport-based grassroots organization called Resistors. He says he did so to gauge interest in the forum. Melissa Shine, a member of the group, sent this email in which, in capital letters, top secret and urgent, Governor Lamont needs you, in capital letters, in Westport Tuesday, January 7th, 7 p.m. And then it says this, quote, do not, capital N-O-T, share any of this information on social media. We have advance notice of this event thanks to Senator Will Haskell and Governor Lamont's office, and we want to keep that advantage over the plan's no tolls opponents as long as possible.
There you go.
And that is, I think, what has caused all of this. So Kevin Rennie got hold of this. He writes a blog that is widely read called The Daily Ructions in the Hartford Courant. And then the Yankee Institute picked it up, and then I got it from all sides over the weekend.
Yes, as did I. And, I put something about it on Facebook myself. But, in fact, I put Kevin Rennie's blog post on Facebook. But what's really disturbing about this is now we know from the article in the Hearst papers this morning that there's a state senator who was organizing this as a town hall and, quote, invited the governor. I'm not sure who invited whom, but anyway. And he said, I didn't send out an e-blast because, to notify people about my town hall because we weren't sure that everybody could put this on their schedule. Well, you don't wait until the last minute to advise people about a town hall meeting unless there's a big emergency, which there wasn't. So he's saying this on Monday morning. If I'm going to hold a town hall, I let people know a week in advance or more. And otherwise, you're really not giving adequate public notice, and you try to make sure the press knows about it as well. You don't just sort of do it under the cover of darkness. And so the real issue here is the fact that a subterfuge was being used to stage a display of wide public support for an initiative. I don't care what the initiative was. It happens to be tolls, but that was the thing. And then, of course, there's this phrase in there saying that in the email that you just read that legislators will be joining the governor, and these legislators will be putting their careers on the line by doing that.
Oh, is that right? Is that
which means that there's an acknowledgement that the public does not necessarily support this, but the legislators are going to go ahead and do it anyway. I mean, it's as convoluted as it can be, but it's really disturbing because you just had this administration is not showing itself to be transparent or ready to work on things through an open process. You had that Dalio partnership where $100 million a year is supposed to be used for education purposes,
and then nobody was allowed in the room until they finally were. Right.
And the organization allocating the money is not subject to public disclosure requirements. You had the Port Authority, which was basically committing malfeasance without having to tell anybody about it, and very inappropriately spending its money. And you have budget negotiations that are done in secret. So this is, I mean, I noticed that one of the things that you hear about a whole lot with the toll issues in particular is that people don't trust Connecticut state government to spend that money, to spend toll money on infrastructure the way it's supposed to. And so organizing meetings like this and behaving this way is not exactly a way to inspire trust. I mean, you're just making it worse. And so the other thing that hasn't gotten out there, which I think is interesting. It's just interesting. You can never say for sure, but I find it interesting that the meeting was scheduled originally for this Tuesday night, which is precisely the night when the Westport Republicans are holding their biennial caucus, so that every active Republican in town would most likely be busy.
Do you think that that's just a coincidence, Gail?
Well, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it'd be interesting to see what people think. But
I don't know.
Certainly you have to give public notice of a caucus, and so people were aware of it. There was nothing secret about that. So I don't know. But it's interesting. And so this has caught a lot of people's attention, and both the governor's office and I believe the state senator's office explained that the whole thing was the result of a miscommunication, that the meeting had never really been scheduled for Tuesday.
Yeah, Haskell says, apparently, according to the Hearst, Haskell said late Saturday, quote, "It didn't come together schedule-wise. It is not going to happen on Tuesday. I do very much hope we find the time to hold an open forum. It will be posted publicly so that anyone and everyone can attend."
It appears that there is now one scheduled for next Sunday. That's just appeared on Kevin Rennie's blog. So at 4 o'clock, same place. But, all of that said, just this behavior of trying to do things out of sight of the public, keeping things from people.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
The press was going to be there, and the whole point was to show that the overwhelming majority of people who came supported the governor's point of view.
Well, and the reason that that's really important to this governor at this policy at this time is because Westport in particular is getting slammed by the tolls. The original proposal for Governor Lamont had a toll both around 715 and right around exit 17. So you literally couldn't get to Westport from Greenwich, from anywhere south, without paying a toll on one of the two major highways. So if they can show that the town of Westport is, rah-rah in favor of tolls, I think to some extent it gives them some kind of an appearance of a boost. That's just my opinion.
It's also, it's a trucks-only proposal right now.
It is, but
nobody trusts that it will stay
well,
that way.
that's why the polls don't show
Exactly.
the Connecticut people moving towards liking it any better, because
Yeah.
the trust thing is still there very much in the minds of a lot of people in Connecticut.
And I think that's the biggest thing. And so when you know that trust is your problem, why do you then try to hoodwink the public? I mean, it just doesn't strike me as bright. It's not bright. It's very stupid, actually. And so this is, I think a lot of people feel insulted by this, whether they're for or against tolls. It's not the right way to behave, and it's not the right way to run a government, and it's not the right way to relate with one's constituents.
And also,
that's
just
the
so
big
you
deal.
know, anytime you want to send an email that says top secret, just letting you know, it never stays that way.
Well, that was the other thing I found fascinating, was that anybody could think that trying to do this would work.
I mean, that's just funny altogether, right?
Yeah, that's hysterical.
Yeah, it is. But, it assumes a certain kind of, if you will, hubris, or it assumes a certain kind of confidence that everybody you're sending something to is so on your side that they couldn't see it any possible way, and obviously will keep the confidence. And that's just not the way the world works.
No, of course not.
It's just not.
I neglected to mention, by the way, that the town leadership in Westport was not aware of this until they heard about it Saturday, like everybody else.
Oh, you mean like the first selectman town leadership?
Yeah, he hadn't been informed. No.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
really?
make that clear because some people were asking, and that was, no.
So Jim Marpy didn't even know that this forum was supposed to be happening on the Tuesday?
No, not until, it all leaked out Saturday, and then we all found out about it.
And typically, Jim would probably go and greet the governor. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, he's very
Right.
proper.
Absolutely.
Jim is very proper and respects protocol.
Sure.
But, it was just a complete surprise. So, again, I just want to emphasize that what's so alarming about this is not that it, you could characterize it as a pro tolls presentation. Anybody can present for or against anything they want.
Sure.
That's fine. That is totally within bounds. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do when you're in government. It's this hiding. It's this lack of transparency and this taking the public for fools. And that is what is unacceptable about this, regardless of what the point of view or the subject of the presentation was.
203-333-9422 if you have a comment on this story. If there's some kind of response you would like to share with us, you can give us a call right now. We're chatting with Representative Gail Lavielle. We'll be right back. WICC 600, WICC600.com.
B600.
And it's your chance to give us a call now at 203-333-9422. Representative Gail Lavielle on with us. So, Gail, just to summarize, with respect to this brouhaha about the forum that was supposed to happen tomorrow with an email that indicated only a few people were invited, you're seeing that this forum is going to be going on instead on Sunday?
But I'll tell you that I saw on Kevin Rennie's blog this morning.
Okay.
That I can't announce something on the part of the governor.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and
Got it.
also we will have to assume that Kevin Rennie is right, but the buzz is that he is right. But I would suggest to people that they, if anyone wants to go, or if they want to inform people, that they should add the caveat that they need to see an official notice. But Kevin Rennie's blog, dailyructions.com, says that it has now been rescheduled for 4 p.m. this Sunday, once again at Bedford Middle School in Westport.
So let me ask you one other thing, Gail, before I let you go. Governor Lamont, it had been said, and I think he said so on our show last month, was going to be doing a one-day special session, I thought, in January with respect to tolls. Is that happening?
That is still uncertain.
Oh.
But it normally, the Democrat or the Speaker and the Senate President will not schedule a special session on something unless they think they have the votes for it.
But is there a date already set aside on the calendar?
No.
There is not.
No,
okay.
not at all.
And the regular session begins February 5th?
I believe it's I was just looking myself. Is February 5th a Wednesday? Because if it is, it's February 5th.
Gail Lavielle, thank you for joining us today. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Lisa. Me too.